Cast your minds back to the beginning of 2020 last year. Our lives were full and chaotic. We rushed here and there. Our days would be packed with places to be and deadlines to keep and a schedule or three. Kids were dropped off at school and then work, eat, sleep, and the same tomorrow. Our lives were just on repeat, a never ending cycle of things to be done, which left us with little time for family or fun. We would work long hours to earn more pay so we could buy nice things that would enhance our days, and we sacrificed time with our family and friends to work hard for a living, a means to an end. But we were left with exhausted bodies and minds, spending our evenings and weekends just trying to unwind, but more often than not, that time would be spent chasing housework and homework and paying our rent. And we turned the same pages day after day, and we read the same story in the exact same way until, in the blink of an eye, everything changed. Our life as we knew it was upturned and rearranged. We weren't given an option. We had to stay at home to combat a virus that was completely unknown. A novelty, perhaps at first, but we soon discovered its crippling curse, and laid plain to see were our raw beating hearts as loved ones were lost and families were torn apart. And yet, together we stood with a common aim to be free to live our lives again. We supported our heroes and our NHS staff. We banged on our pans and we cheered and we clapped, and more inventive we became day after day, entertaining the nation in a million new ways. We worked and conversed via Skype and Zoom, carrying loved ones on screen with us room to room, and we started to realise what we really wanted. Things perhaps that we had previously taken for granted. A cuddle, a kiss, a hand to hold, or a shoulder to cry on when we weren't feeling so bold. And as summer faded and winter set in, our resolve was waning and patience wore thin, and we were left exhausted in a whole different way as restrictions dragged on and imposed on our days, and we no longer had sunshine to soften the blow, just darkness encased in a blanket of snow. And Christmas passed us by in a more subdued fashion of muted celebrations wrapped in quiet compassion. We craved a reminder, just a glimmer of hope, that we would find a foothold on this slippery slope. And the snow, it will melt and evenings give way to light, because spring follows winter just as day follows night. And as we continue to battle our foe, we must also be mindful of those that we know who struggle a bit more than perhaps you and I, and remind them that somewhere there's still sun in the sky. So let's make a pact that begins right here to support each other throughout the coming year, and carry along with us the lessons that we learned at the time that we stopped when our world overturned. I don't know about you, but I know about me, and I know that it's challenged the way that I see and the way that I think and the way that I act, because I'm more conscious of how words and actions impact. So let them be generous and let them be kind. Let them enrich and not harm someone's mind, because kindness isn't always about extravagant gestures. It's a phone call, a message, a card or a letter. It's about checking in and checking up and making some time to interrupt that never-ending cycle of things to be done It's about just slowing down and having some fun. And although we'll turn the same pages again one day, perhaps we will read the same story just in a different way, and teach our children not of heartache and pain, but of courage and hope and the lessons that we've gained. Because it may have just shown us that simpler times can bring more pleasure and enrich our minds. Create a different way of living. I'm already enrolled. We can bring in the new and throw away the old. Unleashing new habits, letting our passions unfurl, because we can be the change that we want to see in this world. And we'll hang on to those words that a wise captain would say. Always remember, tomorrow will be a good day.